seeing as that it is the bewitching hour, my alarm says that it is now 5:31 here in Eastern Daylight Time here in sunny South Florida. My name is Kitty McGowan. I am the president of the U.S. Superyacht Association, and I'd like to welcome all of you guys to our very first Zoom virtual happy hour, because one of the things that we do with the U.S. Superyacht Association is try and bring people together. And we do that in a number of ways, but they are always involving us in person. So seeing as that now we're all very challenged with that in-person part, we thought that this would be a fun way of at least doing it in such a way that people can see each other, take away something fun, and we can have a little fun in the process and see how you guys like it. So, because we are kind of known for our networking events where we get 80 to 100 plus people every month here in the South. So we're so happy to have all of you guys that are here today. And Julie, I don't know if you've seen, if Kate, our chairman, is able to log. Kate Pearson, our chairman.
Hello, can you hear me? Welcome to the West Coast. It's only water for me because it's 2:30.
I know. So thank you, Kate, our chair, all the way from San Diego. Thanks so much for joining us today. I know it's not happy hour yet for you, but so happy to have you. So Kate, give us a little thoughts about what's happening in your world.
Well, hi, everybody. It's so great to see everyone's faces. I think for me, this connection is really what I'm missing. You know, you go through this sort of isolation, roller coaster of emotions where one day it seems okay, too much news, you know, and you start really wondering what the future's like. I personally have tried to sort of dig down a little bit and call people, just people who I wouldn't normally talk to, who are in the industry, to see how they're doing. And that connection's really helped me. And this makes me so happy. You know, as it relates to my company, we are hanging in there. Our hospitality, restaurants and bars have been really, really impacted. And we're hoping that we come out of this sooner than later with the new normal. So that's it from me. Great to see everyone.
Thank you so much, Kate. And for those of you that are with us, I know we have members, we have guests. For those of you that don't know us, because I mean, some of you are just kind of joining us through links, I'll give just a quick roundup. U.S. Superyacht Association, we're a nonprofit trade association working for the large yacht segment of our industry, the marine industry, which thankfully, through the hard work of so many groups around the country and the world, is continuing to work through this as an essential business. So the USSA has not stopped through this pause internationally. We continue to fight for your rights to be able to continue to work. We're working to try and maintain the essential business status nationwide, working with local and regional trade associations to help feed those things. And they're helping us, giving us resources. I was on a call today where in Ohio, we found out that the governor of Ohio is already starting to open some things up there to the working things. So we're able to kind of work together through this giant network. So you guys are not alone. We are here continuing to work on your behalf. And so if you need anything from your businesses, your individual things, I know it's been tough, and we should know by Friday about the Palm Beach International Boat Show. But we have our eyes firmly set right now on actually doing a golf tournament sometime in May or early June here in South Florida in our Southeast region, possibly doing some events in the New England area in early and late summer, and as well as the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show and the Mets Trade Show in Amsterdam. So we continue to fight for you. We continue to work for these jobs. We continue to keep going forward. As I keep saying from the beginning, individually strong, but together a powerful force. And I know so many of you have been on so many webinars these last few weeks and months that have been like, you want to like blow your brains out, and they're very important and very informative, but they were you just were starting to hemorrhage out of every eye socket. So I wanted to make sure that this particular day is that we are having fun today. So with that, I'm very excited since this is a cocktail, virtual cocktail party. First of all, let's all make a toast and let's just say happy hump day. And for all of those that you already have a toast and haven't made one yet, so please have a drink for us, please. And those of you on the West Coast, I'm sorry, you can have one later and we'll be thinking of you. I'm drinking orange juice, as I said earlier, to keep my immune system going positive. So this is an opportunity for us to kind of work together and have some fun. So I'm excited to have with us today the cocktail guru himself. For those of you who have joined us at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show and our pavilion, Jonathan Pogash is the cocktail guru, is here with us today to do some fun old-fashioned stuff. And I'm very excited to have the Vivere chocolate, my sweet chocolate man, Robert Bowden, also in the house with us. And I'd like to give my thoughts and prayers to a very good friend and a tremendous supporter of the U.S. Superyacht Association and partner through Crown Wine and Spirits, Fernando Jewett, whose father is not doing very well right now, and he needed to be with him tonight. So our thoughts and prayers are there with Fernando. And so if in the meantime you need anything in terms of, God knows, wines and spirits, because it's the thing that's keeping us all going, I think in some cases, reach out to Fernando and he can make sure he can hook you up with some great stuff at a very, very good price and working together. So the format is going to be like this. So we're going to start with Jonathan and we're going to make a quick cocktail, a couple of quick cocktails. And then we're going to make a very fast hors d'oeuvre that's going to kind of go along with that. Since we're going old fashioned, we're going old school to the old days when I was a kid and you used to make those pigs in a blanket. Because I don't know about you guys, when I go to a party, those are the first things to go from every tray. And then we're going to finish with something sweet. So don't wait. I mean, for no more talk from me, we're going to go straight to Jonathan. And then if you have any questions about anything as we go along, we'll stop along the way. And my right hand and left hand and everything in between, Julie Sack will let us know if there's any questions that we can make sure that they get answered. Mr. Pogash, I assume you're here. I can't see you because I'm just looking at myself. So take it away, Jonathan.
I am here. Well, thank you so much, Kitty. Thanks, Julie, for helping to set it all up. Thank you, USSA. I'm Jonathan Pogash. I'm the founder and owner of the Cocktail Guru. I've done many things with USSA at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. I do various aspects in the hospitality industry, and as you all know, the hospitality industry has really taken a hit and is pretty much at a standstill. So I've had to reformat and reformulate my options and my work quite tremendously. So for the yachting industry, we're now doing virtual certified mixology and wine courses, which are actually guest and IAMI certified virtually now. That's brand new. They can certify these. So I'm doing them from the comfort of my laboratory, my cocktail lab here. And we're also doing virtual happy hours for teams and corporations. And it's been really fun and it's been interesting because I never did this sort of stuff before. Everything was in person, training bartenders and training yacht crew and doing special events. So this is all brand new to me, but I'm very happy and thrilled to be here to show you a couple of my favorite cocktails. First of all, we're going to do an old-fashioned cocktail. And for those of you who may have, someone already has, Brian already has one. If you're watching, if you're participating from home, we'll get our tools out, we'll get the ingredients that we need, and I'll go through exactly how to build this cocktail. So the old-fashioned cocktail dates back to the 19th century when cocktails were first brought into the forefront in the big bars and restaurants and hotels in the big cities. The name comes about because the original cocktail was spirit, sugar, water, and bitters. That's it, those four ingredients. Everybody knew that's what a cocktail was. And then throughout the ages, those ingredients started changing. So people started going to a big fancy cocktail bar in Louisville, Kentucky called the Pendennis Club. I don't know if anyone's been to the Pendennis Club before. And that's where Brian has. That's where people started coming in the late 19th century saying, I would like an old-fashioned cocktail, meaning I would like the way a cocktail was made before with those four ingredients. And so the name stuck, the old-fashioned, and that's how we get the old-fashioned. An old-fashioned cocktail can be either bourbon or rye whiskey. I'm using my bourbon whiskey right here, and I have my beautiful fancy etched mixing glass If you don't have this fancy mixing glass, you can use any mixing glass, any glass will do, definitely. I'll add my whiskey to my mixing glass here. I'm doing 2 ounces of my bourbon whiskey, and you can use rye whiskey as well. You can also use rum. You can use cognac. You can use, what do I have? I've got a lot of stuff here. You can use gin. You can use all different types of spirits to make variations on old fashions. Tequila, mezcal, it all works. So I've got my whiskey in here. I'm taking my simple syrup, and I'm adding 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Anyone know what simple syrup is? It's just sugar and water. It's super easy.
Equal parts, right? Equal parts.
Exactly.
Water.
It's super simple. You can make variations on simple syrup too. You can use sugar in the raw as the sugar aspect. You can use superfine sugar, white sugar, palm sugar, whatever you want to use. Now I'm adding the third element, which is bitters. I have a very selection of bitters here. I'm doing Angostura orange bitters. I'll do 2 dashes. And I have just some aromatic bitters, which are the same as regular Angostura bitters. I'm also doing 2 dashes. And that is it. It's 3 ingredients. It's super easy, and it has all of the elements of what a classic cocktail should be, right? Spirit, sugar, water, and bitters. Perfect. So now I'll add my ice, and we will stir it. So stirring cocktails is obviously different than shaking cocktails, right? When we stir, it's a little less vigorous than if we were to shake the cocktail. But what does ice do to a drink? It obviously gives you the proper temperature and the proper amount of water in your drink. So when we make the next cocktail, I'll shake, but when we stir, we want to make sure that we stir for the right amount of time. And that amount of time is 16 Mississippis, okay? That's how long you stir. That will give you the proper dilution and the proper temperature of the cocktail. So that's been about 16 Mississippis, I'd say.
That's kind of like the washing your hands, singing happy birthday twice thing.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it's like. And so, you know, you've got your spoon. The stirring takes a little bit of technique and practice, and you'll get it. I have my beautiful glass with a big cube in there. You see that? Yeah.
Ooh, that's lovely.
I use this ice cube mold, and we'll get really geeky about this. There's an ice cube mold that I get that makes these perfect cubes and uses directional freezing. So, you know, our machines and our refrigerators freeze ice in a different way. It gets it cloudy. This gets the ice perfectly clear. And we'll just strain it right over that cube. And garnish is very important in cocktails, obviously. What does a garnish do to a cocktail? It adds to the visual appeal of the drink, but it also should add some sort of flavor to the drink. I'm not a fan of a garnish that is just there to make it look pretty. So I have my beautiful orange. I'm doing a nice long swath of orange peel, just like that. And here's the technique. The peel is where all of those oils are, right? That's where all the flavor is. So you do peel side down, and I don't know, I'm gonna bring it up because maybe you can see the aromatics. Peel side down, just right over the rim. You get the aromatics. And then you drop that in. And if you have a beautiful real Luxardo cherry, which I have in my refrigerator, definitely throw one of the cherries in there. And that is just a beautiful classic old fashioned. I'm gonna give it a little try. So it's nice. It's nicely balanced because I've stirred it for 16 Mississippis. It's not too strong, overpowering, or anything like that. It is, those aromatics from the orange are beautiful and gorgeous. I love it.
Especially this time of year, because oranges are so delicious right now. And
Yes.
Here in South Florida, the citrus state, we have been getting our share.
Absolutely. Oh man, I wish I was able to get some of those fresh off the tree down there. But we're gonna do now a classic sour cocktail. So the old fashioned is kind of in a category of cocktails, or a family of cocktails, which are spirit forward, I like to say. Some people say strong, boozy. I don't really like to use those words. Spirit forward. But the sour is also another member of the is a family of cocktails. And there are so many cocktails out there that are members of the sour family. I don't know if anyone can name a few. Well, you're all muted, so I'll just go ahead and name them. Or maybe Kitty knows some. So here's an example of a sour, okay? A margarita, a daiquiri, a cosmopolitan, a whiskey sour, a sidecar. A sour is any cocktail that has citrus of any kind in it, lime juice, lemon juice, orange juice, grapefruit juice, and then something sweet to balance it out. Simple syrup would be the common balancer there. So a classic vodka sour or gin sour is the vodka and gin, lemon or lime juice, and simple syrup. That's what a daiquiri is, right? Rum, lime juice, simple syrup. That's it. Margarita, tequila, lime juice, simple syrup, triple sec is the added ingredient in there. You see how you start to see the correlation between different cocktails. So I'm going to make a gin gimlet, which is one of my favorite sour cocktails. I'm going to grab my gin, which is right down here. And we have our Boston shaker, which is the glass and the tin, right? And we're going to do 2 ounces of our gin. And proportion is really important when you're making cocktails. For this one, my proportion is 2 3/4 3/4, which means 2 ounces of my spirit, 3/4 citrus, 3/4 sweet, okay? So we're doing our fresh lime juice, 3/4 of an ounce. And we're doing our simple syrup, 3/4 of an ounce. Just like that, easy peasy. Another super simple drink, 3 ingredients. We'll add the ice. And this is different, we're not stirring. So what does a stirred drink taste like as compared to a shaken drink? So this old fashioned, because we stirred it, it has viscosity to it. It falls a little bit thicker on your palate as you sip it. And with that big ice cube, that drink will dilute a little slower than most ice, but it will still remain ice cold. Okay.
And it looks really sexy too, by the way.
Thank you so much. Tin, the glass tin, whoop, little wet there, and then the glass, right? Just pop it on top on an angle, slap it down so you get the seal. Flip it around, make sure the glass is facing you. Just in case this seal starts to break loose, the liquid will go on you or behind you. If it's like this, then it'll go on my computer and that's it. So we shake it awake, don't rock it to sleep. And it's 8 Mississippis, all right? Can everybody count with me, please? 8 Mississippis. Ready, set, go.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi.
Perfect. Thank you. So this takes a little bit of practice separating the shakers. It's just a little pop. You start to see where the seal is loose and where the seal is tight, and it's halfway in between, and it's just a little click like that. I have my cocktail glass over here. I love these coupe glasses, and we'll just strain right into our coupe glass. Garnish, I already explained that the garnish needs to not only make the drink look nice, but add flavor to the drink. So I have a lime wheel, and I like to just place this lime wheel right on top so that it just floats on top like that. You get this fresh citrus zest as you bring it to your nose. Shaking a cocktail also gives you little ice shards on top, which I personally love. A lot of people don't like it, but I love that. Take a step.
So now also that, Jonathan, is the shape of the glass. So, because it's very wide versus, you know, I mean, like there's like a whole mixology mindset about the shape of the glass and how each of those things hit your mouth and your tongue and the different parts of your taste buds. So that is very open, so you get all of that lime goodness. And
it's open, and the way that it curves up at the top, you get actually, when you bring your mouth to it, your lips, there's more surface area on your lips to really catch the chill of the cocktail itself, which is really cool.
And how did they come up with the name Gimlet? Ooh.
Kitty has stumped the guru. Well, the Gimlet originally had gin in it, and it's a 19th century cocktail. I don't know the origin of the actual name, but people do know the origin of the name, and I can look that up.
No, it's such a cool name, and it's such a yummy, fun, old-fashioned drink like the old-fashioned. Has anybody ever had a gimlet of any sort? There's the vodka gimlets, the gin gimlets. I've definitely had them. I know my friend Julie Balzano, who's on the call, and I have been playing with gin of late, and gin is a fun addition there. No, I love these drinks, and they're so easy and so simple to make. And they're just absolutely delicious. They just make me want to curl up and enjoy.
Well, it looks like Pabritra Singh said that a gimlet is a drilling tool.
Well, there
you
you
go.
Who knew?
Thank you.
So we're gonna drill down into this a little bit further and and have a cocktail. Everybody, I think it's time to have a sip. What do you say? Thank you so much, Jonathan. And as always, you're amazing, and we'll look forward to seeing you back again. Everybody have another cocktail. And if you think of any ideas or suggestions that you'd like to see our wonderful cocktail guru makes, Jonathan, don't you have a daily live show on Facebook?
Yes, thank you. Every day at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm doing a Facebook Live cocktail segment. I call it Some Good Booze, where we talk about some positive and inspiring news at first, and then we celebrate with a cocktail. And that's on Facebook Live. It's the Cocktail Guru page on Facebook Live and on YouTube. So you can also go to the Cocktail Guru YouTube channel and subscribe.
Oh, that's wonderful. And so I encourage all of you guys to go find our friend Jonathan, who's been so great to us and has helped us significantly during all of our events and boat shows. And you're just a tremendous friend to the industry and to us personally. Thank you so much, Jonathan. We look forward to doing this once again. And it's been a lot of fun. So we're going to kind of keep with this theme of this old-fashioned and this kind of taking it back a little, and going to go to something that I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, and as that, you know, most of the cocktail parties that I've ever gone to, if you find pigs in a blanket, they're like the one thing that disappears by far. I mean, I don't care, because I've been a chef on yachts. I have worked in catering. I've done a lot of different things over my career, and I now work in the association business, but I still like to cook around my house. So it's really a fun thing that everybody likes. And it's for this, we were trying to kind of keep things that they'd be simple and easy to find, because, you know, similar to toilet paper and paper towels, sometimes trying to find some crazy ingredients are not easy these days in our grocery stores. But hot dogs, you can find. Now, originally, when the original recipe of this was those little canned Vienna sausages, or I've seen them done, and I've done them with little smokies. You can do anything, but, you know, we're kind of like trying to do something different and make it, you know, something that of something everybody has. So I just have a little package of hot dogs here, a package of crescent rolls. You can use puff pastry. You can use kind of anything you want, but these I like, and these are readily available. Oftentimes I got these on BOGO the other day at Winn-Dixie. So it was great. So I stocked up on my share of crescent rolls. So I would be having everybody preset your oven to 375. And so we're just gonna like open. Now I've already washed my hands before I did all these things, but I'm a crazy hand washer from way back. And so I always wash my hands, even before this crazy COVID pandemic. So we're just gonna take this roll of crescent dough, and we're just gonna unroll it. Now with this, we also have just kind of rolling it out on a thing. Now there's a couple different ways I've seen this done, and there's a couple different ways that I've done it. Depends on the day, and again, so much about things in the kitchen can be however you feel like doing. If you, like I say, if you don't have something, do something else. Or if you don't like mustard, use ketchup. If you don't like barbecue sauce, use something else. So make it your own and make it something that you like. So I'm just gonna take this little crescent roll, this crescent dough, and I'm gonna roll it out. I have my little fancy pin here that I'm just gonna push the seams together. Now you can just use your fingers and push all the little seams together so I can make it go like that. And then we're gonna take our hot dogs, and now if you're lucky and you score some of those little tiny mini franks, which is great, you can use those as well. But I have just hot dogs because I had these also on BOGO at Winn-Dixie last week, and this is our last package. So then I just cut these. Now you can do this a couple different ways. If you like them bigger and you want more than just a bite, I like little bite-size hors d'oeuvres for people so that you don't have to do more than one bite. So I'm gonna do these into thirds. So I'm cutting these hot dogs roughly into thirds. The second ones are a little bit bigger. And then I'll take my pastry dough, my crescent roll dough, and I have a fancy pizza cutter, but you can do this with a knife. And then you just kind of take your hot dog and you kind of look at it, say, how wide is it? And then you just cut some strips. Now you don't have to do the whole package of hot dogs especially if you're doing these fun online virtual cocktail parties. And I've seen some really incredible people doing some great stuff where you're doing themes and something fun. And it would be fun to do like what Jonathan did with his old-fashioned cocktail, to do an old-fashioned theme, and you could bring out these. And I know my friend Lisa Scott Founds is on here, and she sent me her recipe for the little smokies that I definitely want to do the next time. And so then you just cut the pastry dough and you just take it and you just roll it up and you put it seam side down on a little cookie sheet. So then you do all of these things and you just keep rolling your little hot dogs with the little pastry dough. Now I have, through the magic of television and having done this before, no, I'm just kidding. I did this right before we started. I've already made up some. So you make sure you place them seam side down on your cookie tray. Now I have also whipped up an egg. Now you don't have to put an egg wash on them, but an egg wash does give it a nice brownness. It does add a little color. Now if you have a thing with eggs, don't use it. If you don't like eggs, don't go there. You don't have to do it, but it does kind of make a nice brownness. I like to use the everything bagel seasoning, but you can use poppy seeds, sesame seeds. You can do some, if you want to make it very shishi, which is really cool, you can take this hot dog and you can split it down the center and put your favorite kind of soft spreadable cheese, like goat cheese, like an herbed goat cheese, which everybody knows me. I hate goat cheese, but I know a lot of people like goat cheese, but like a really fun herb cheese would be really delicious in this, and then roll it up. And if you wanted to make it really fancy, fancy schmancy, you could do that too. But to me, the basic stuff is just to roll them up and make it just really basic and fun. I mean, doesn't this bring you back to your childhood? Doesn't this just make you feel warm and like cozy? Because in these times right now, it is crazy. The other really cool thing about this, once you set these all up, is that you can make these like the day ahead, and you can put them in the fridge, wrap them up with plastic, and you can have them ready. Or if you wanted to make them for a cocktail party later in the day, you can do that early, and then you can just wrap them up with plastic and then pull them out and stick them in the oven. Super easy, super simple. And then you bake them at 375. So you just put a little, let me do this first. You put a little egg wash, you just dab a little egg wash on. And then, like I said, I'm using bagel seasoning, everything bagel. And then I'm just sprinkling that on. And then you stick it in the oven for like 12 to 14 minutes, depending on your oven. If you have a convection oven, they tend to go a little bit faster. And then this is them when they're finished. They're nice and brown and toasty and puffed. Now, the thing about that, and anybody who's ever been around me, is that you eat with your eyes first. So I always want to make food look pretty. And I know that Jonathan wants pretty to taste good too. But you start looking at food with your eyes. So when you come up to a buffet or you come up to something that you're coming to eat, you want to make sure that even if it's a grilled cheese sandwich, if you cut it into triangles and you make it look nice, if you add a little sprig of something fresh and green, or if you add a little tiny simple something just to make something look special, that's going to make the people around you enjoy it all that much more. And yourself, you'll enjoy that bite even better. So I encourage you to try this. It's a very easy thing to enjoy with your family, your kids, when you're home. It takes 12 minutes. It's super simple. And then I like mustard, but if you want to use barbecue sauce, ketchup, gosh, those people that are like the anti-ketchups on the hot dogs, I can understand. You could use barbecue sauce, that old style with the barbecue sauce and a little grape jelly. That reminds me of my mom. There's lots of different ways to do it, but it's simple, easy, fun, and stuff you can always have around the house. So I hope you enjoy these pigs in a blanket. And I hope you can use that to make your next virtual cocktail party even that much more fun. So enjoy. So with that, you can't have a little cocktail party without something sweet. So where is my friend? Robert Bowden, my sweet chocolate man.
We're gonna do a quick simple mousse. It's a 2-ingredient. It's light and airy. The weather's kind of different for us all over. It's still warm right now a bit in Jersey. I see you're in Florida. Very simple. You either have your cream and you have your chocolate. I think some of you may have chocolate bars. It's pretty simple. Chop it up really easy. I have a chocolate chips because I have lots of chocolate chips. 2 steps, about 15 minutes. Pop it in the refrigerator for about 45. Start this at the beginning of your little party. By the time you're done with your appetizers and your cocktail, you'll be ready for dessert. We're going to basically take, first step, melting your chocolate. Note of fact, chocolate burns really, really quickly. Really quickly. So 35 seconds in the microwave, stir. If it's not all melted, that's fine. Another 35 seconds and stir. Do not do it longer than that because basically you'll scorch it. While you're doing that, you can go ahead and you take a whipped cream, heavy cream, whipped cream, 2 options. You can use a hand mixer. I'm an immersion mixer. Usually it travels with me pretty easy.
Is it supposed to be
Always
really
use an
cold?
up and down motion when you're mixing. While you're doing that, you don't want to over mix. Get the soft peak. Pretty simple. 1 second. Another 35. Mix. If you're gonna use an immersion blender, use an up and down motion. That gives you the most air in your whipped cream, so it doesn't sit as flat. When you are using a stand mixer, it's a little more forgiving. It gives you time to watch it. I like a chocolate mousse because it pairs well with a lot of things, from fruits. You can spice it up. You can add a liqueur to it. Anything that, chocolate is a really good conduit. So it doesn't take a lot to flavor it, whether it be, again, a fruit or a liqueur, a spice even. Some people like spicy chocolate. I do have a lot of requests for that sometimes. So, while you're mixing chocolate, as you see, it didn't take much at all. One moment. Add the remainder of your cream, which will cool down the chocolate a little bit so that you don't shrink your peaks. So you're basically making a ganache here. If you're so inclined, you can eat this right out of the spoon with the bowl. Right out of the bowl with the spoon. This is a basic filling for a tart. You can make an easy pie. There are a lot of uses for a chocolate ganache. And again, sometimes I like it just this way and don't make it to the new stage. But we're going to fold this into our whipped cream. Can you see me? We're going to add a little bit of chocolate, a little along. Temperature is going to change a bit. Don't worry about fully incorporating yet. That'll happen when it sits. Just mix, keeping it light and airy. You can see this a little bit. Again, the best thing about this, unlike when you're making cakes or cookies, you can eat this at any point along the way. If you get in a hurry, you can serve just as is, or don't serve it to anyone and eat it yourself. So, in short, you're done. You have a nice chocolate mousse. If you let that sit for about an hour if you want your mousse more firm, if you want it light and airy. It's easy to serve immediately. If you would like it a little stiffer, again, give it a go in your fridge. Presentation points for everything.
Always, always. You eat with your eyes first.
Presentation counts. I sliced these earlier. You have strawberries. And you're done. Very
oh my
simple.
goodness. Robert,
And
that looks
I like
amazing.
this. I made a couple of these earlier. Again, for flair, we talked about cups and the importance of. I like martini glasses because I like martinis. These are going to be great for parties. You can make them ahead of time. Go ahead, really quick, set them in the fridge, and as soon as cocktails are over, you're great for dessert. There you go.
Oh, Robert, that looks absolutely amazing. We had a question, is
Yes.
that what is the ratio of like how much whipped cream and how much
200 milligrams, or sorry, 200 grams of chocolate, 300 grams of whipped cream.
Okay, so can we do that in US and not grams?
Oh, okay. You need a cup and a half of whipped cream and a cup of chocolate.
Okay.
Easy enough.
Perfect.
Very simple, almost half and half.
Okay, so it's almost
Yes, the extra
equal.
half a cup is what makes it easier for it to whip up. Yeah.
Right, and so then you pre-whip your cream and then you just fold in the melted chocolate. Do you need to let the chocolate cool a little, or you do it straight out of the microwave?
I do it straight. I literally just did it. So that took 35 seconds. I add a little bit of cream right after it. Some people will say mix the cream before you melt it. No, melt the chocolate as is, add the cream, it'll drop the temperature. And by dropping the temperature, it makes it easier to go ahead and fold into the rest of your whip. And then you're immediately, like I said, ready to serve now.
So that's amazing. And so Robert, just give us a 20-second blast on Vivere chocolates, because I mean, Robert, similar to our friend Jonathan, the cocktail guru, Robert has been a tremendous friend to us at the U.S. Superyacht Association at the Fort Lauderdale International Pavilion. And last year, and I tell you, I have people that are still asking me for those chocolates. He put our USSA logo on these chocolates that were to die for, these ganache-filled little chocolate nuggets of Dreamyville heaven. And so tell us a little bit about Vivere chocolates, if you don't mind, Robert.
Started Vivere about 6 years ago. We import, we manufacture the chocolate ourselves. I spend my time traveling the world to find the best chocolate for my clients. Chocolate is pretty much sourced from about 13 countries everywhere. And they just happen to be yacht destinations, so that's a perk for me. We work with our corporate clients. We do events. We do a lot of turn down chocolate for the yachts. We will do thank you gifts, charter gifts. Everything is made to order. We're not a shop. We come to you. We will create exactly what you ask for. And I think that's what I enjoy most about the business, is that every day is something new. It never gets boring. We don't make the same thing all over. So yeah, we travel kind of along the same circuit. We're here, call us and say, hey, I've got this great event. Can you get some stuff to my chefs? We supply chefs as well. So, yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing, Robert, because with a lot of our companies that are online right now, you could do that as a thank you gift for people. Like you put our logo on these chocolates,
We can do
or
whatever you ask.
for yachts that are out there, like you said, doing turn down chocolates. And I can tell you, I know one of my friends that is online, David and Christine Metters are huge chocoholics, and they are still asking me if we have any more of those chocolates that we had in our secret stash after the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. So we had another question. Now, what about some flavorings to chocolate? Now, that's like the big thing, similar to small batch liquors and small batch things where you're doing some interesting stuff. Like I love hot sweet? You know, like doing something.
It's very, as I said earlier, in life, the best things are fattening or alcoholic. So flavorings, no matter whether it's a plant fat or an animal fat, that is where your flavor comes from. So in chocolate, you have cocoa butter. That allows you to make a great conduit. I've added a dash of cayenne pepper. When we do, you were talking about small batch, we do craft chocolate. So a lot of our chocolates, we create recipes just for you. So if you have a higher percentage, if you like 75%, we can do that, and we will create a chocolate. Literally, this is your recipe. So whenever it gets done, this is what we create for you. By doing that, I know that, oh, Kitty may like again, a liqueur flavor. So if there's maybe a Grand Marnier, the orange goes really well. We can infuse that.
Orange and chocolate. Oh my gosh. Orange.
Yes, we make those all the time. We feel, we'll make tarts where we'll mix it and do a dark tart, a chocolate tart, make a cremeux with a fruit, like a puree, layer that with chocolate. So it's all of those things. I always tell people, tell me what you like and I can tell you what I can do.
Well, it's like so fun is that I get to watch Robert do his travels. I mean, prior to all of our home stuff, Robert was traveling all over the world and getting accolades for his chocolate and all these really amazing dishes that you do with your incredible chocolates. And this is such a simple one, and it's so fun and so easy for all of us to do at home. And but I can tell you from firsthand experience working with this man, it's like you will not be sorry. And this is not a sales pitch. This was really, today was really all about kind of stepping out and letting people chill and relax and have fun. And you know, Robert is one of became very good friends. We met at the Newport Charter Show.
Yes,
we were both judges in the chef's competition, and as like I instantly loved his sweet nature, which comes by naturally, clearly.
All of those chocolate desserts were made with my chocolate.
I know they were.
They were so fun. And to see the creativity, and to me, I feel like, you know, I've had the best chocolate in the world, worst chocolate in the world, and I always tell people, make what you like, enjoy it. Life is too short for me to tell you what your taste buds want.
So let me ask you, what is your favorite country for chocolate?
My favorite country for chocolate is the Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast?
Ivory Coast. Just like wine, chocolate is flavored by the ground and the air and all of those terroir things that change it. So I like a very chocolate, very earthy cocoa. If you get chocolate from Central America, it's going to be very fruity.
Right. Well,
so
like you said, it's very much like wine.
I want to add the flavor. I don't want it already flavored for me. Chocolate, when you think of a good chocolate flavor, it's most likely from the west coast of Africa.
Well, that's incredible. You know, it's so funny is that because people that I'm like, sweets are not my thing, but like I say, your chocolate I've really, really enjoyed. And the thing that I like about chocolate most is like when chocolate is with the unexpected, like chocolate. Well, not unexpected, but like chocolate and espresso or chocolate, like you were saying earlier, with like a Grand Marnier or, you know, like things that like kind of take it to that next level. Or to me, I like hot sweet, like the cayenne, or like I've seen some of these little chocolate bars that have the crunchies in them where they just.
And that's it. I mean, have fun. Don't be afraid of it. The only thing that I will tell you to watch out for is chocolate and water are not friends. So, with chocolate and water, it typically has it'll cause it to seize. And
it does cause it to seize. Yes, it does make it like funky.
Okay, can you hear me now? There we go. Somebody tried to call. And chocolate and water don't get along really well. Creams, you can do, and it can be plant-based. It doesn't, for vegans, take a coconut milk. Very simple. Coconut milk will work just fine. Almond milk will work just fine. When you're making ganaches, you can have non-sugar added, non-animal product chocolate and enjoy it just fine.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that because I know that there's a lot of people, especially on the yachts, that want to do things that are plant-based, and then now that's a giant movement.
I did my last contest I entered, we won with a vegan chocolate tart. And that was the whole thing. I wanted to make something and remind people that healthy doesn't taste bad. You can have a great chocolate tart. We added pomegranates. It was a lot of fun just testing those recipes. And yeah, it can, like these two in particular are vegan. This one I made with regular cream. These I prepped earlier. Yeah, it's totally doable.
And so with the cream, whether it's plant-based or non, you want that to be very cold, correct?
Yes.
So,
You want pretty much all of your products to be cold. These were chilled. Even my bowls, sometimes I will work with it because if you're in Florida, especially on the boats, you have a very finite amount of time before everything's too hot. So yeah, I try to keep everything refrigerated right up until the point that I use it.
Right.
But that's if you're making a mousse. If you're making a regular ganache, you're fine. If you're making a pie or something that's going to be room temperature, that's totally fine. But if you're making a mousse, yes, everything needs to be cool.
Or whipping any sort of cream. Whipping
Yeah.
cream, you want to make sure everything's very, very cold.
Yes.
So that you keep it light and fluffy and not melted and get it deflated.
It should. If you take longer than 20 minutes, you've overdone it.